If you don't know, you're about to know right now. You're about to learn. Education. You feel me them? This is the Blue Poetry Podcast. I'm Quindell Evans, your host of the podcast. On this podcast, this is a new addition to the podcast that I've been doing. This is the EARS version. The EARS version is the acronym for the explanation and reasons for my songs podcast. You feel me them? The explanation and reasons for my songs podcast, the acronym for EARS. E, explanation, and A, reasons are for my songs S. The explanation and reasons for my songs podcast. You feel me them? So I'm going to break it down, starting from my old music to my new music, letting you know the inspiration, the story behind why I wrote it, the passion, what inspired me, what I was going through around that time, or what I was experiencing, not always going through something, but what I was feeling at the time, and what was happening in my life at the time and why I wrote it, and break down the lyrics and what I mean each line, you feel me? So, last episode of the EARS Joint, we did the song Just a Fool, and before that, the last time we did Killing Blacks. Then we did Just a Fool before that, and the first one was You Wanna Smile. And today we're gonna do the poem There's No Solution. This is pretty much my first tape that I'm going through. To give them more tape, you can listen to it if you go to the link, on the podcast that you can see under this. The link is there to my music, so check it out. You feel me? But I'll definitely play There's No Solution for you at the end of this. I still want to start the EARS joint off just like I start the regular joint off with the affirmation pledge by Abio doing Oye Wole because that's important. So yeah, let's go. I want to be what I can be, to be proud, healthy and free. I want to say what I know to help my brothers and sisters grow. I want to feel good about me and blame no one for my misery, cause I'll be strong and turn it around. I want to go up, I'm not going down. I want to do what I can do to make all my dreams come true. Remember my past, the good and bad, how I made it art even when it was sad. I want to share whatever my gift, and when you're feeling low, I give you a lift. I want to live without fear and know that I'm blessed for being here. You know that you're blessed for being here. Just know that we're blessed for being here. Just know that we're blessed. All right, then, that's the affirmation pledge, but I'll be doing Oye Wole. That's not the official name of the pledge, but that's just what I like to call it because I like to recite affirmations, and I feel like every line in that pledge is an affirmation. You feel me? I'll be doing Oye Wole, the creator and founder of The Last Poets, a revolutionary poetry group, literally the revolutionary poetry group, spitting revolutionary poems. Kind of originated the spark of the rap game, to talk with that kind of fervor, with that kind of energy, was sparked by Abio doing The Last Poets. So in this episode, once again, of the EARS Joint, we're gonna do a musical dissection, a lyrical dissection of There's No Solution. Alright? So yeah. Bump There's No Solution off Give Them More is produced by Ben Stapp, one of my former co-workers, someone who used to work with, who's pretty good at mixing and adding like certain sounds behind the music and stuff like that. So I allow him to play with my poem and mix it up. So you'll listen to it. It sounds pretty like airy and fun and stuff like that. All right. So There's No Solution. There's no solution. A revolution can't stand the damage due to the pollution of school districts, rule systems, constitutions, precedents that's outdated, votes imposed that were crookedly created to elect who's related. That's like the beginning of the poem. I wrote this poem 2013, spring. I was in college. And this one I just started getting heavily into spoken word, more interesting in it, and performing it. I was performing it a little before that, but this is when I started to really become fun with it and really feel like I could do this. I think I won a slam or something like that, or won first, second place in the slam at a school. I went to Buffalo State College, and this is my senior year, my super senior year, and I was staying with my frat brother who went to school at the university at Buffalo. I went to Buffalo State University. He went to university at Buffalo. More bigger campus, and there was a slam. One of my frat brothers was like, yo, why don't you try this out? Drew was like, yo, go try this out. See if you can win this slam. I went, I placed. I don't remember if it was like second or third, but I remember I placed. But the first place winner came and gave me the prize, gave me the money. Was like, nah, bro, you won it. Like, you got it. And this was before I wrote There's No Solution. But that moment kind of like sparked, like, an interest in me that let me know that I could actually do this poetry stuff for real. I could actually affect people with my spoken word, to the point where the first place winner gave me the prize. It was money. Gave me the money. And the trophy was like, nah, you won. Like, I don't know why they picked me and not you. I think I placed third. Like, the first place winner came and gave me the prize. So I placed third, and the first place was like, nah, bro, you got it. So I was pretty flattered in the moment, and really felt like this is, I felt like I was really affecting people with my poetry. It made me realize how effective my poetry was. And after that is when I started writing poetry more often. And I remember listening to Lupe's Fiasco, Food and Liquor. Right? I think he had an album called Food and Liquor, I believe. And the intro to his album, I think I heard that it's a poem. It's a poem in the intro to his album by a girl. I heard that the girl is his actual blood sister. And they start off hijabs, hoodies, afros, locks, teddy bears, liquor bottle shrines, rocks, tanks, prayer drugs, whatever. Like, it started off with like a poem, and it was like pretty much personifying the horror of the black community and what's going on and what's going on today. And I liked it. I liked the cadence of it. I was intrigued by the cadence that she used in the poem. So I kind of wanted to make a poem similar to the vibe, which I didn't, but it just like inspired me to write this. And I didn't even write it. I just listened. I really liked Food and People 1 and 2. I was heavily into Lupe at the time. And that right there inspired me to write this poem. Kinda like it was like kind of listening to it and wanted to kind of come off with that cadence, that flow. And I remember being in a relationship with a girl in Brooklyn, and I was interested at a girl in my school. And I realized that I realized I got a problem. I have a problem with I'm interested in this girl, and I actually decided to talk to the girl at my school while I was talking to another girl back home in Brooklyn. And I started to reflect through this poem, there's no solution. There's no solution for the man. There's no solution for the man who resides in poverty and has to pick and choose from the lies he sees. So I'm kind of blaming society for making me the way I am, making me this guy who wants to cheat on his girlfriend. I'm not taking ownership of it. I'm making it seem like there's no solution for me. I'm going to always be this way, always be this guy who can't settle down and stuff like that, who wants to talk to two girls at once. So this is kind of the first half of the poem, the first part that I spit for you, there's no solution. The revolution can't stand the damage due to the pollution. That's kind of me speaking off the Lupe Fiasco poem, reflecting on, this is how things are for us as blacks, and the world is just a mess. And then as the poem goes on, I'm reflecting on myself now. There's no solution for the man who resides in poverty and has to pick and choose from the lies he sees on analog and digital screens. So I'm blaming society for being the way I am, blaming poverty for being the way I am, blaming TV and media and social media, blaming everything around me for for me being who I am. He lies, he cheats, he steals. I'm criticizing myself, you know. He lies on, for, or with bees to receive what he needs. He cheats on or for, he cheats on or for himself with his gluttony to feed. He steals from his ex. He steals from his next. He steals with the rest, no matter which heart bleeds. So this is me reflecting on the fact that I lie, I cheat, I steal. I'm stealing, I'm stealing people's hearts. I'm stealing people's energy, and I'm moving it on and going to the next energy. Hopping from relationship to relationship, hopping from girl to girl. These are things that I've done in my life, So this is me reflecting on like myself, reflecting on what I have become, and I'm kind of blaming it on society, blaming it on my upbringing, blaming it on the system and all of this stuff. Not saying I believe in that right now, As an adult right now, I'm taking ownership of my life, and my choices and the outcome that I've, the outcome the outcome that it is right now, like what has come of me. I'm taking control of it and being more directional in my future and not just blaming society. I'm an adult. I can't blame people forever. I can't blame nobody forever. Once I realize there's an issue, and that's what this poem helped me do, is realize who I am. Once I realize there's an issue, I can solve the issue. Once I realize there's a problem, I can solve the problem. Once I realize that I have things to work on, I can work on it. So, writing is definitely lethargic. Writing is definitely projection. Writing is definitely self-reflection. So this is me reflecting on myself through this poem. Like, I'm lying, I'm cheating, I'm stealing, I grew up in poverty. I'm talking to this girl and this girl at the same time, and then at the same time this is going on, I don't know, I feel like I can't trust the government and all this stuff. So this is me reflecting on myself, you feel me? There's no solution. And now that I'm realizing that there's, now that I'm realizing that I have a problem, and that and one of my problems, or I have problems, but one of my problems is, manipulating women and being with two women at the same time and not being honest about it and stuff like that, and hopping from relationship to relationship. Now it's like I realize that there's no solution for the lady who seeks escape from these streets where creeps wait their turn to bust and bite down like a grape and squeeze to release their seeds. Like, let's see how far we can go, although we can't visibly measure. So she allows blind eyes to guide her mind and body to invisible pleasures. Hold on, let me run it back. Like, there's no solution for the lady who seeks escape from these streets where creeps wait. There's no solution for these ladies out here, who seeks escape, and meaning like they seek escape from these guys that just don't want nothing from them. Like, most, I don't know, it's women who understand it, and I don't know, it's not like it's a men thing, it's a woman thing. There's women who are as promiscuous as guys. There's guys who's as promiscuous as women. But I'm just speaking for me and myself, you feel me? So guys like me who's doing things at that time, there's no just writing, reflecting, there's no solution for them. Like, what are they going to do? What are they going to do if a guy going to come and want to be with them and for a short period of time get what he can from them and go? Like, that's not cool. Not just get what he can from them and go, like, pretty much for sex. Like, not just like, I never was the type to take money or physically abuse anyone or take anything from them physically or materialistically. I'm just talking about, having sex without emotion, and like having a bunch of sexual partners and not really investing and getting to know them on a long-term level. Like, never was the type to take anything from anyone, like, but there's no solution for a lady who seeks escape from these streets where creeps wait their turn to bust and bite down like a grape and squeeze to release their seeds. Like, let's see how far we can go. Like, whenever I get tired, I'm out. Like, whenever I want something different, I'm gone. So that it's reflecting on that type of vibration, like the timing I was on. Like, do I want to continue to do this? Like, let's see how far we can go, although we can't visibly measure. Like, we can't really measure how far like how long is this gonna last? You feel me? We can't measure that. So she allows blind eyes to guide her mind and body to invisible pleasures. Like, she don't even know how long this is gonna last. She can't even see when this is gonna end, but she's gonna enjoy this now, and the next thing you know, she looks up and I'm gone, and that's the way it is. So there's no solution, or is there? Like, is it fair that there's a fair to go anywhere, whether to the slums or to a fair? So now I came back. Now I came back to society, criticize society like there's no solution, or is there? You know, like, is it fair that there's a fair to go anywhere, whether to the slums or to a fair? Like, is it fair that this in this capitalistic society that there's people who's struggling? Is it fair that in this capitalistic society that there's people who ain't got it, and the people who got it can hardly do anything for them? You know, is that fair? And the reason I ask that is because I feel like I'm from New York. I don't know how poverty is elsewhere. I'm not saying like I never seen poverty elsewhere, but I never lived in poverty elsewhere. Poverty here is different. You know, like a lot of the homeless people have mental disabilities. So like it's not money that can solve their problem. It's not even resources. They have to, heal their minds, which is psychological, which I don't know nothing about anything. Like I don't know what can help them out. A lot of them probably abuse drugs and liquor and K2 and all different types of things that have damaged their brains, but a lot of them are psychotic or, have psychological issues that keeps them in this pattern of homelessness, pattern of poverty. It's not even like money. I remember when I was in Philly, like the homeless people there is like, you wouldn't even know, like, not that you wouldn't know, but at first glance, it's different. It's not like in New York City, like the people smell crazy. Like the homeless people smell disgusting. Like you could just walk by one and just smell them. In Philly, like they were, I don't know, I'm not saying there's no smelly homeless people there, but I just remember like, a homeless person coming up to me and telling me this story, like communicating with me effectively, like letting me know, like, hey, I'm going through this, and I'm just like, you look normal, you don't smell, stink, you have on clothes, but somehow maybe it's still some mental, still some mental discrepancies. I'm not saying that, but it's far worse, here to the point where like they can't even manage how they smell, like they peeing on themselves, and then they're just like stuck in one space in a way. Like you could walk by the same corner and see the same homeless man in the same spot every day in a way. Like it's that weird, literally. I'm not sure if it's like that everywhere, but that's me reflecting on that. Like, is it fair that there's a fair to go anywhere, whether to the slums or to a fair, or is it dumb that nothing's free? Is it dumb that nothing's free? Free dumb, is it dumb that what is free? Because free dumb ain't what it seems. Ring the bell and let it ring. My name is Quindell, and I'm here to sing. I'm here to sing the one solution. Matter of fact, I got two solutions. One, I'm the solution. Two, you're the solution. We have to unite to make more solutions. We have to make a shape of this ball of confusion. And now this is me reflecting on the fact that I want to make a change in myself. I want to make a change in the world. I want to actually do something to make things better. I don't want to always be this way when it comes to women. I don't want to always be this way when it comes to my life. I don't want to always see the things that I'm seeing when it comes to poverty. I want to do something to change it. I might not be able to save every homeless man in the world, but in my life, I can do something to change things a little bit. And if I could change things a little bit, then that'll make me better, make me feel better in some way. So this is me reflecting on that, And I'm the solution, you're the solution. We have to work together. So I know that it's not going to just take me and my mind and my ego and my spirit and my desire for change is going to make it work. I can head it, I can lead it, I can follow people who's on that path right now. There are people who working to help out homeless people and feeding them, and even people who's helping them heal their psychological issues. So like that's what this is. That's where the end of the poem starts to come. Like, I'm the solution, you're the solution. We have to unite to make more solutions. We have to make a shape of this ball of confusion. We have to change this world in any way we know how, because there's no I in team, nor is there a letter U, but U N I T E is what we better do. Unite. Otherwise, there's no solution. Because I know that it's gonna take a collaboration, a collaborative effort for us to make a change, And even when it comes to changing the way I build relationships with women, it was a collaborative effort. Like I had to surround myself with different friends, that functioned in a way that allowed me to reflect on it. One of my friends, Mizu, used to always be like, you don't have to deal with more than one woman at the same time. It doesn't matter if you want something serious for them or not. It's just you could take it one at a time. And he's the type of friend who our other friends might be like, you're gay, or stuff like that, because they don't. It's not normal for people to. It is normal, but it's not socially acceptable in a society where we peer pressure each other to do certain negative things. It's not socially acceptable for him to be this way. Like, if everyone is trying to talk to as many girls as you can, and then Mizu stands out with, it's like, I just take them one at a time, or sometimes I'm not even thinking about it. I'm straight, but I'm focusing on other things. People might pick on him and bully him for stuff like that, but he was one of the guys who was like changing my perspective. So that's what the poem is about, changing my perspective on the way I see the government and the world and capitalism too. I don't have to play victim. I don't have to blame the government, capitalism, and in the world for why I'm not succeeding. So this poem, it's called There's No Solution, but after you listen to it toward the end, you realize that there is a solution. And the solution is the change within myself and collaborating with other people that's going to work with me, and we can work together so that we can create change for ourselves and also for the world. You feel me? That's my musical dissection of There's No Solution, the AIRS version of the Blue Poetry Podcast. AIRS stand for the explanation and reasoning for my music. The explanation and reasoning for my songs, excuse me. If you don't know, you're about to know right now. You're about to learn. Education. Let's go.